Hello, welcome back to Pilates at Home by Rebalance Physio. Thank you so much for taking the time last week in answering the questionnaires for us. We got a huge amount of feedback and we've taken that on. We're going to change the exercises or the plan of the program overall next week. So what we're going to do is, instead of having the two 15-minute videos, well, the three 15-minute videos, we're going to change to two 30-minute videos. One of a kind of a lighter, easier intensity, and then one of a harder intensity. We're then going to have a shorter 15-minute video for the people who still like them. And we're going to have a fourth video every week of a equipment class where we're going to use bands, circles, rollers, footballs, things like that we can start to challenge your balance, your coordination in slightly different ways, rather than just working on strength of the abs. We want to tie in those other little bits and pieces as well. So we're going to give you a little bit more variety. We're also going to change the way we do this. Instead of emailing out the videos every week, we're going to set it into a members area on our website that you can log into, and you can see the videos uploaded each week. And we're going to have little tutorials as well on how to improve your imprint, or how to focus on bringing the rib cage down, or isolate your glutes a little bit more and work more on muscle activation. So we're going to change all the way that we do this, and I'll send it out in an email towards the end of the week. This week though, we're going to keep it the same that we've had before. We're going to work with the three 15-minute videos, the one with me today, the gentler class on Wednesday, and then Lauren's class on Thursday, and I'll put today and Thursday's class together again into a half-hour video, and then next week everything will be a little bit different, but you get a video or an email about that on Friday as well, or Saturday, hopefully Friday. So we'll get started. Come on to the hands and knees. So hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Again, we're going to drop the ribs down to the mat, arch the back, lift the head up, drop the head down, push the ribs up nice and high to the ceiling, drop the ribs back down, lift the head up again, and then drop the head down. Good, push the ribs up to the ceiling as high as you can, drop the ribs back down, arching the back as much as you can, really looking up, and then back towards the middle. So the back is flat, turn the head to the left, bring the left foot out to the side, have a look at the toes, left foot in, right foot up and out, and back in. Left foot up and out, again looking around the arm, and then back in, right foot up and out, and then back in. We're going to combine those two, drop the ribs down, lift the head up, turn the head to the left, look at the toes, push the ribs to the ceiling, roll the head down, right foot comes out, have a look at the right toes, drop the ribs down, right foot comes back in, looking up in front, turn the head back to the right, ribs up to the ceiling, roll the head down, right foot comes back in, left foot goes out, turn the head to the left, drop the ribs down, left foot comes in, and then looking up in front. Good, look down between the fingertips, hips and shoulders to the left, right leg back, right arm up in front. Looks a little shaky today. Good, and keep yourself as still as you can. We'll come over to the right side, left leg back, left arm up in front. Perfect, and then arms and legs, back down. A little bit different, we're going to tuck the toes underneath the feet now, flatten the back out, and lift the knees up, a couple of inches up off the mat. So start to activate the lower abs, and then rest back down, tuck those elbows in, lift the knees up again, and then back down. Good, one more, lift the knees up, hold the knees there, and march the feet up and down, left and right, good, keep going, keep the hips still, make sure they don't shake side to side. Good, back down, lift the right hand, and down, lift the left hand, and down, right hand, and down, left hand, and down, and rest the knees down onto the mat. Next what we're going to do, we're going to come forward a little bit, and we're going to come into a plank. So same thing again, toes tucked underneath the feet, back is flat, lift the knees up, and then walk the feet to the end of the mat. Keep the hips tucked under, don't let the back arch, don't let the hips stick up into the air. Straight line from the shoulders through the hips, through the ankles, to the ankles, through the knees. Good, and then walk the knees forward, press the knees in, and then turn over onto your back. And then rest. Next we're going to imprint the spine, so we're going to work the lower abs, bring the legs up into tabletop, keeping the back flat, rib cage is down, hands are by the side, chin is tucked in, and then nice little soft taps right and left. Good, don't rest the feet on the mat, just very lightly touch them off the mat, and all the time focus on keeping the back imprinted. 9, and the last one, 10. Legs back to tabletop, keep the spine imprinted, and tap the 2 feet off the mat. 1, 2, 3. Again, you can make it harder by tapping further away. 4, shoulders are relaxed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one last one, 10. Legs back to tabletop and rest the feet down. Good. Next one we'll do, we'll grab the roller, 2 feet onto the roller, spine is imprinted, and we're going to get our cushion between the thighs, hands by the side, squeeze the cushion, imprint the spine and lift the hips up. Again, if you want to make this harder, hands onto the ribs or hands across the chest. All the time scooping the hips up and then coming back down. And scoop the hips, rolling them back and then lower down. Good. 6 and back down. Nice smooth movement. 7 and back down. Imagine the spine is coming down like a wave, 1 vertebrae at a time and then back down. Good. And then one last one. Lift the hips up and then roll the hips back down. Perfect. Next we're going to do, hands back by the side, right foot onto the roller, keep the pillow between the legs, straighten the left leg, squeeze the pillow, lift the hips up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. And then back down. And then we'll switch legs. So left foot onto the roller again. Closer the heels to the hips, the bit easier it's going to be. Straighten the right leg, pillows between the thighs, shoulders relaxed, chin is tucked in, squeeze the pillow, imprint the spine, lift the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, shoulders are relaxed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. And then rest back down. We're going to keep the pillow between the legs. We're going to come back onto the right leg now. Rollers in nice and close to the hips. Pillow back between the thighs. Hands by the side again. Lift the hips up nice and high. And the left leg squeeze the pillow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the hips up high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Rest the hips down and switch legs. Left foot onto the roller. Right leg is extended. Lift the hips up, whoops, and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, rest the hips down, and have a little rest. Leave the pillow down to the side, and then leave the roller down as well. So next we're going to start to bring our upper abs into it a little bit more. We're going to imprint the spine. We're going to go for 2 sets of under this week. So we're going to imprint the spine, bring the legs to tabletop, so knees are above the hips, knees at 90 degrees, tuck the chin in, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up and beat the hands. 1, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and breathe in, 4, 5 and breathe out, 2, 4, 5 and breathe in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5. Keep the head and shoulders up. Out, 2, 4, 5. Got halfway there. In, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 4, 5. In, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 4, 5. In, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 4, 5. 2 more breaths. Out, 2, 4, 5. Last breath in. 4, 5 and breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest the head down, hands down, and then feet down by the side. Good. Next one, we're going to go for another set. This time we're going to straighten the legs to the ceiling. We're going to focus again the head and the shoulders up as high as you can. If you can't fully straighten the legs, bend them so the knees always stays over the hips. So don't have the legs out here if the hamstrings are tight. Keep the knees directly above the hips and a little bend in the knee if you need to. So imprint the spine, hands by the side again. Rib cage comes down. Chin is tucked in, legs to tabletop, straighten the legs to the ceiling as much as you can, as much as the hamstrings will allow. Don't let them drop away from the body. Knees stay above the hips, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up and beat the hands. 2, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5, 4 more breaths, out, 2, 4, 5, 3 more breaths, out, 2, 4, 5, 2 more breaths, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last breath in, breathe out, 2, 4, 5, rest the head, bend the knees, and bring the feet down one at a time. Good. Next, we're going to do a little bit for lower abs, again upper abs with this. We're going to roll the head and shoulders up, imprint the spine, chin to the chest, legs to tabletop, head and shoulders up off the mat, straighten the legs to the ceiling, 2 hands to the back of the right calf, lower the left heel to the mat, and switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Legs to the ceiling, bend the knees, head down, arms by the side, and rest the feet down. Next one, 2 legs at the same time. Imprint the spine, we're going to grab our cushion again, imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, cushion between the ankles, hands by the side, straighten the legs to the ceiling again, chin to the chest, squeeze the cushion, lower the heels 2 inches, and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep the back imprinted all the time. 8, 9, 1 more, 10. Bend the knees, rest the head, grab the cushion, leave it down to the side, and have a little rest. So, 2 more sets now for the abs while we're on our back. So we're going to focus a little more upper lower abs, and we're going to come into some roll-ups after that. So imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, tuck the chin in, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up, left hand to the inside of the right knee, right hand to the outside of the right ankle, straighten the left leg, and then switch. Left hand to the outside of the left ankle, right hand to the inside of the left knee, and switch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, legs to tabletop, rest the legs out. Good. Next one, we're going to grab our cushion again. Imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, cushion between the ankles, 2 hands to the side of the head, chin to the chest, elbows into the knees, straighten the legs, elbows apart. Bend the knees, elbows in. 2, 3, keep the head and shoulders up. 4, keep the spine imprinted. 5, 6, nice smooth breath. 7, 8, keep the back imprinted. 9, the last one. 10. Bend the knees, rest the head down, grab the pillow, leave it down to the side again, and have a little rest. Next, we're going to come into some roll-ups. So we're going to straighten the legs down onto the mat. Legs are straight, knees and ankles are together, hands back behind the head, arms forward, chin to the chest, and rolling up. Chest comes forward at the end. Nice and slow, control back down onto the mat, hands back, arms forward, and rolling up. Good. And slow and control back down. Keep the shoulder blades back, hands back again, arms forward, rolling up, chest comes up nice and tall. Keep the shoulder blades pinched on the way back down, controlled on the way down. Make sure you don't drop that last little bit. Hands back behind the head, rolling up again. Good, chest comes forward. Keep the shoulder blades back on the way back down. 4 more. Hands back, arms forward, rolling up. Chest up nice and tall. Good. Controlled on the way back down. 3 more. Arms forward, rolling up. Good. And back down onto the mat. Last 2. Good. Chest up. Keep the shoulder blades together. Control on the way down. Keep the feet down. Last 1. Good. Keep the shoulder blades back. Pinch together. And then rest back down. Hands back down by the side. And bend the knees. Good. Last set for the abs, then we're going to come into a little bit for the hip flexors and quads. We're going to do some roll-ups. So, imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, hands back behind the head, arms forward, chin to the chest, onto the back of the hips, keep the heels off the mat. 1, back down, and up. 2, back down. 3, and down. Good. 4, and down. 5. Good, 5 more. Good, 4 more. Control on the way down. 3 more. Back down. Good, last 2. Keep the shoulder blades pinched, arms forward, rolling up. Chest comes forward at the end. Back down, controlled. Last one. And roll up. And then rolling back down onto the mat. And then rest the legs down. And we'll have a little rest. And now for the next set. We're going to come into sitting, start to work the quads, the hip flexors, and the mid-back muscles. So we're going to come up into sitting, hands back either side of the mat. Pinch the shoulder blades together. So just like last week, where we lifted and lowered the legs, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to pinch the shoulders back. This time we're going to lift the 2 heels and straighten. 1, 2 at the same time. 2, 3. Keep the shoulder blades pinched. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bend the knees. Rest the heels down for a second. Next we're going to do one leg at a time. We're going to keep the leg extended. And we're going to lift and lower from the hip. Good. So lift the 2 heels up. Straighten the right knee. Lower and lift. 1, 2. Keep the back straight. 3. Keep the shoulder blades pinched. 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep that left leg still. 8, 9. Last one. 10. Bend the right knee. Straighten the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep that right heel up. 7, 8, 9. Nearly there. 10. Bend the knees. Rest back down onto your back. Rest the legs onto the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Hug the left thigh to the chest. And rest the head back. So again, like last week's class, we're going to end up with just the hip stretches here. And then Lauren's going to take it straight over, run through, and I'll edit the 2 of them together again for the Friday. And as I said, Friday or Saturday, you're going to get an email out with how we're going to change the system over for the classes going forward. Good, and then switch legs. Left ankle over the right knee. 2 hands around the right thigh, so left hand comes between the legs. Right hand along the outside. Rest the head down, rest the shoulders back. Make sure the chin doesn't poke forward, keep the chin tucked in. And stretching at that left hip. Good, and then rest the right leg down. And Lauren will take over from here.
Okay, now we're going to come onto our right side. So elbow directly under the shoulder. So either legs straight out, lifting up onto the ankles. You could bend the bottom knee and lift up this way, or you can come all the way down and just lift up the top leg, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to bend the bottom knee. We're going to lift the hips up nice and high and then lower down. And then again, lifting up and lower. Keep that foot in contact with the mat. Lifting up and lower. Good. Get the hips all the way up. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. We're going to keep the hips up, lift the top leg and lower. And lifting up and lower. Make sure that hip doesn't drop. Good. You can also bring the arm up, out to the side like this. Lifting up and lower. Good. 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg up, reach the arm out to the side. Bring the elbow and knee in together, and then reaching out again. So really good for the obliques here. Reaching out, crunching in, reaching out. Good. Feel your arm and leg reach away from each other, and then coming back together. Try to keep the hips up. Good. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. And resting down. We're going to come all the way down then for the next few. Lifting the top leg up, lifting the bottom leg to touch, and lower. Lifting up and lower. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep both legs up. Lift the top leg. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the top leg up, small circles forward. Try to keep that bottom leg as still as possible. 3, 2, 1, circles back. If you need to put that bottom leg down, that's okay. Also, if you need to put your arm in front, that's a little bit easier as well. 3, 2, 1, lower down. Top leg up as high as you can, toes pointing down. Small pulses with the top leg. Make sure you're not rolling forward here, so keeping the hips nice and level. Small pulses, keep that leg up high. 3, 2, 1, straight into small circles. Try to keep the leg up if you can. Take a little break if you need to. 4, 3, 2, 1, circles backward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower down. Then we're going to lift both legs up. If you need to keep the bottom leg down, otherwise both legs up, big circles forward. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then switch directions. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Rest the legs down. Bending the knees, bring the ankles together. Lift the ankles up a few inches. Bring the knees apart nice and wide and back together. Make sure that you're not rolling back as you open the legs up, so keeping the hips stacked. You can put your hand on your hip just to help feel if you're rolling back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Resting down. Hopefully you're feeling the burn there in the top glute. Grabbing the back of the ankle. And then stretching out the front of the thigh, making sure not to arch the low back, so tucking the rib cage forward. Good. Letting go of the top of the ankle. And then before we switch to the opposite side, we're just going to do a few things in a plank. So we're going to come onto the forearms here. If you need to, you can just come onto the knees. Otherwise, try to lift the feet up all the way. Just going to hold this here for a few seconds. Then we're going to lift the right leg up and lower, and the left, and the right, and the left. One more on the right, one more on the left, and lower down. We're going to do 2 more things there. So again, if you need to, just come up onto the knees. Otherwise, try to lift up all the way. We're going to do a saw motion. So you're going to come forward and back. So you want your nose just to come over your thumbs and back down. Good. Make sure the hips aren't popping up or dropping down. So you don't want to be collapsing here. We have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower down. 1 more here before we switch to the opposite side. Dig the toes in. Lifting the hips up. If you want to as well, you could just hold the plank here. You don't have to do these extra motions. Tapping the hips to the left, to the right. So make sure they don't actually tap down. So you're just shifting across. Same thing we did last week. Really working the obliques here. Good, give me 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting down. Give the low back a little stretch. Whichever you can, even a low stretch like this. Then we're going to come onto our opposite side. We're going to start off the same way you started off the last one. So either legs straight, bending the bottom knee, or coming all the way down, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to bend the bottom knee. Give yourself a second to catch your breath. Then we're going to lift the hips up. Again, either arm here, arm on the hip, and lower. Lifting up, lower. 4, 5, 6, lift and lower. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Reaching that arm out to the side, crunching in, extending out. Crunching in, reaching out for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And lowering down. Coming all the way down. Top leg up, bottom leg to touch. And lower. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both legs up. Lift the top leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight into small circles forward. Again, if you need more balance, you could bring that arm forward. 3, 2, 1. Switch directions. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the top leg down. Lift the top leg up, toes pointing down, small pulses here. 10, and then small circles forward. Hopefully you're feeling that there in the glutes, the abductors on the right side. 3, 2, 1, switch directions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Almost there, only 3 more here for the legs. Big circles forward. Try to keep that bottom leg up if you can. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big circles the opposite direction. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo, lower down. Give the legs a little shake if you need to. Bending the knees, feet together, bring the ankles up, knees apart nice and wide, and lower. Again, not rolling back, staying nice and parallel here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, resting down, grabbing the ankle with the right arm, tucking the rib cage down, protecting that low back as you stretch out the quads on the right leg. And again, try not to let that leg flare out to the side like this, so try to keep the knees together. And then letting go of the leg, and then we're going to come onto our stomachs, forehead resting on your hands. If this is hurting your shoulders at all, you could bring the arms down as well. For this, you don't have to have the arms up. This is just good to activate the mid-traps here. So, forehead resting on your hands. We're going to squeeze the legs together, press them down into the mat. Lift the upper body up and lower. Lifting up, really try to pinch the shoulder blades back as you lift. Lifting up and lower. And make sure that your head isn't lifting up like this, so you really want to keep that chin tucked in. Good, we have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting down. Pinch the shoulders back, lift both legs up. Small flutter kicks with the legs. If you want to make this harder, lift the upper body up as well. Otherwise, just keep it resting down. Make sure the legs are straight, so the kicking is coming from the hips. Don't bend the knees like this. So legs are nice and straight. We're squeezing those glutes. Pressing the hips into the mat. For 3, 2, 1. Keep the legs up, apart, and together. Good. Apart, together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting down. Bend the left leg to 90 degrees. We're going to lift the left thigh up and lower. If you want to make this harder again, upper body up. Keep pressing your hips into the mat and squeezing the glutes on the left. Try to keep your knees close together, so make sure this isn't coming out to the side like this. So legs are together. For 3, 2, and 1. Good, then we're going to do the right side. Bending the right leg. Upper body up if you want to make it harder. Lifting that thigh up and lower. Squeezing the glutes on the right. Three, 2, and 1. Lower down. Now we're going to bend both legs. We're going to bring the knees apart for this one. Going to work the abductors a bit more on the side here. Bring the feet together. Lift both legs up and lower. Keep pressing the hips down into the mat as you lift. Three, 2, and 1. And lower down. Then we're going to bring the arms down by our side. Keep the chin tucked in. Lift the upper body up. Pinch shoulders back. Squeeze them together and lower. Really try to get the hands as close together as you can. Keeping that chin tucked in. This one's really good for the lower traps. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the upper body up. Lift both legs up. Small flutter kicks. If you want to make it harder, you could bring the arms up like this, or even in front. We're going to go 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Resting down. Tucking the chin in. Lifting the upper body up. So whatever's in your practice here. So either just coming to the forearms, you could bend a little bit, or you can really push all the way up. Try to keep your hips in contact with the mat. Looking up. If this hurts the neck at all, just keep the head neutral. Then we're going to come back onto the heels. Into child's pose, crawling the fingers forward. Bring the right arm under the left, so threading it under, lean over to the right, stretching out the back of the shoulder joint on the right side and the deltoids. Getting into the muscles behind the shoulder blade as well. And then getting the left side. Good, and then we're going to stretch out the lats, so the big muscles on the side of the rib cage here. So we're going to bring the pinky finger down. Then we're going to lift the hips up, and then we're going to lean into the shoulders here. So you should feel a nice stretch into the sides here. Good, and then we're going to come onto our backs and finish stretching out the legs. So we're going to bring the right knee into your chest. Hold it in nice and tight. Shoulders are relaxed. Make sure you're not rounded up like this. Right arm out to the side. As you twist the body across, try to keep that right shoulder down. It's okay if you hear a few little cracks like that, just releasing gas out of the facet joints in your back. Back to the center. Pulling the left knee in nice and tight. And then same again. So left arm out to the side, twisting across. Good. Back to the center. Right ankle over the left knee. Grab behind the left thigh. And if you lean your body to the left a bit more and pull in tighter, you might feel the stretch a little bit deeper. Switching over, left leg over the right, hugging the knee in nice and tight. Again, you can lean to the right slightly, pull the knee in tighter. If this is painful or you can't get into this position, just keep the leg down and just gently push the knee away just to stretch out the hip joint. So whichever you can do. Left leg down, we're going to straighten up the right leg, try to stretch out that hamstring, get the knee as straight as you can. Then we're going to stretch at the sciatic nerve, so the big nerve that runs from the top of your neck all the way down to the bottom of your foot. You're going to tuck the chin, the chest rolling forward, bending and straightening the ankle. So you might feel a bit of a sharper sensation as you pull the toes towards you. It should release a little bit as you point away. Bend the right leg, grab behind the left, straightening out the left leg. And chin to the chest, bending and straightening. Keep the shoulders back, make sure you're not rounded up like this, so shoulders are pinched back. Good, and then we're going to finish off with the hip flexors. So we'll do the right side first. So right leg down, left leg up in front. Imprint the spine, so really over-exaggerate that. So tucking the hips under, leaning forward. Make sure not to arch, so really keeping it tucked under here. Then we're going to reach over with the right arm. Stretch the iliopsoas a little bit more because it originates from the back and then wraps around to the front. Back to the center, left knee down, right leg up. Imprinting the spine, leaning forward. Holding that stretch for a bit. And then reaching over. And then back to the center. And then we'll finish there.